welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm Jessa Jeremiah. I'm joined now by Mindi Kessenich, who's with Property Revival Realty, and we are so glad to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we're going to talk a little bit about spec homes, and I want to kind of kick it off today by talking about what Property Revival Realty really does. I know your company has some spec homes in the area, so what does that mean to buyers out there?
Yeah, so there are a couple different ways to utilize spec homes as far as a buyer. And the way that Property Revival handles spec homes is we find investors, sometimes within our own company, that are wanting to go through the whole process for the buyers as far as finding the lot, finding a home that's footprint fits well on that lot, going through with our design center, which is Artisol Design, and we have a showroom right in Property Revival, so they're able to help us go through the whole design process. We hire a builder and we put the home up and then we put it up for sale.
Wow, talk about a one-stop shop. You guys seem to do it all. And lots of expertise under this umbrella. I've been learning from Property Revival along the way. I want to highlight a couple of spec homes that you have available. Let's start with the one in Waunakee and talk a little bit about that this is a personal spec home of yours. How are you involved?
Yeah, this is truly a passion project of mine. This whole process is one of the reasons that I became a real estate agent and revival specialist with Property Revival. I was able to, my husband and I joined another investor in the company, and we purchased the land, and I actually got to sit down with an architect to draw out the blueprint for this particular spec home. We started with one in Cottage Grove, and it was very successful. It was a very beautifully executed home. We found a buyer early on in the process, and so we went ahead and made some tweaks for the Waunakee market, and now we're putting up another one in Waunakee.
Wow, that's a really incredible way especially for a buyer, viewer that's watching who might be on the market, to be able to, kind of get in as things are happening, make a couple little tweaks, but it's a little bit hands-off, so you don't have to make every little decision that you make sometimes in this process, which can be overwhelming to someone that's not in the industry.
Yeah.
Another one that we want to discuss today is Cottage Grove. You have another spec home on the market.
Yes, that home is on Damascus. The address is 1018 Damascus Trail. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home, and it's 2,300 square feet. It's a 2-story craftsman-style home, and it will not come with a finished basement, so it has some room, like you said, for a buyer to come in and actually make some of those decisions on their own.
And what do you think is the best way for somebody that might be interested in purchasing a spec home or getting in with a spec home while it's currently under construction to get in touch with you and be a part of that process?
Absolutely. All of our investors work well with any real estate agent that works through the MLS. So if they have a buyer's agent already, they're welcome to bring that agent on, or they can call us at Property Revival. And anybody within our company would be happy to help them with that as well.
Excellent. And for these spec homes that aren't currently for sale or that aren't currently already bought or with a buyer, do you do open houses typically? Can people come in and see the finished product, or even while it's under construction?
Absolutely. We actually are just listing the one in Waunakee right now. It's going to be on Bridget Street, and that is just getting the electrical done right now. So there's plenty of time to make a couple adjustments to the finishes that we've selected. We've got a lot of them made, but this is a good time for a buyer to come in and make a couple tweaks, changes if some of those finishes are important. So that one's listed right now. What we usually do is we list them for a short period of time while it's in the construction phase, so that people do have that opportunity to come in if they do want to help us with selections. And then what we do is we usually pull it off the market so that we can finish it up, make all the final selections, and then relist it once it's in the finished process and ready to be viewed. So the one in Waunakee is, like I said, it's in the construction phase. So somebody can come in and kind of see where the walls are going to be and get a good feel for the layout. We also have, like I said, a similar property that has been finished in Cottage Grove, so they'll be able to get a feel for what those selections are going to be similar to. The house in Cottage Grove, 1018 Damascus Trail, We are actually having 2 open houses, one on December 9th from 2 to 4, and then also December 11th from 9 to 2. We are also going to be holding that home open where some of our agents are going to be working from that location during some daytime hours in the next several weeks. So definitely check out our website to get more information on when you can pop in and visit one of us during that time.
Wow, how interesting to be able to even pop in and see some of this magic unfolding as it's happening. I learned a lot from you today, Mindy. Thank you for sharing these properties with us, and thanks for what you do with Property Revival Realty. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more real estate news coming up after the break.